What's up, guys? It's Rob here, and we've got to talk about what's going on with oil and what stocks are reacting to that, mainly CEI Camber Energy stock, right? There's some very interesting stuff going on with this stock. It's up about 17% on the day. It just broke over the dollar mark, and there's more potential gains ahead, but there's also some potential downside risk, right? So we're going to talk about what is moving this stock up, mainly in terms of what's going on with oil, okay? This is an oil company, and it's a retail favorite. A lot of retail traders like to trade this company when oil is moving up in price. You can actually see that it spiked up fairly significantly when oil first started getting very expensive due to the situation in Russia and Ukraine. It's since faded away as the price of oil has. We can actually take a look right here and see that when oil was peaking on the 8th, so was CEI stock. It was getting up to around $2. Right now it's at $1, but oil has actually been on the rise over the past week or so, and thus CEI stock is also on the rise in more recent days, right? Traders are making a bet essentially that CEI is going to pump again on news that oil is rising. So oil is rising for a couple of reasons. But first, we're going to look at what's going on with CEI stock. Also look at some of the metrics regarding who is actually getting into CEI stock. Obviously, it's a lot of retail, right? You can see on Google, a lot of people are looking into CEI stock as compared to how many people have been looking into it over the past week. Not too many people were. Now CEI is also on StockTwits. It's the number 9 stock there. It's the number 29 stock on Reddit. It typically takes a little bit longer to get stocks moving up to the top of the leaderboard on Reddit, but CEI is on its way up, right? It's up 11 spots just today. It's probably going to rise more by the end of the day. And now we'll talk about what's going on with oil. So oil is on the rise, especially today. It's up 1.5% alone just today. And over the past couple of days, you can see it's basically just been trending up pretty solidly over the past 5 days, getting above $100 a barrel. Now it's at 108. People are worried that we're going to make new highs with oil. So another thing for oil just happened today. This isn't just due to Russia and Ukraine and the sanctions being placed on them. Another thing happened regarding Libya. So Libya is experiencing some protests. A lot of people there are protesting the current leader of Libya, Muammar Gaddafi, I believe is his name. And they're protesting the fact that he's been ruling for 42 years. There's a bunch of things about his rule that these people don't like. We're not really going to get into what the protests are all about, but regardless, people are protesting there, and it's actually caused Libya's largest oil field to shut down amid all of these protests. So they've actually had to shut down their largest oil field. This is having an impact on oil prices. Oil prices are rising today. They could potentially be rising for the next couple of days, depending on how long this shutdown lasts and how big of an impact it ends up having. But all things considered, there are a couple of ways the price of oil could be going. There are a couple of different schools of thought regarding where oil might be going, and thus where CEI might likely be going as well. So oil is basically being affected by these three names right now. Libya, we already talked about. Obviously, the protests going on in Libya and the shutting down of that oil field is causing the price of oil to move up. So it's a minor factor, right? This is not the biggest deal in the world right now. There are a bunch of other things that people are looking at a little bit more seriously regarding the increase in the price of oil. Libya is a minor factor, and it could become a greater factor, especially if those protests expand into more regions and potentially we see more oil fields shutting down, or if the shutdowns just last for a long time. So Libya obviously is a positive effect on the price of oil. It's a boost upwards. So we're seeing the protests in Libya causing oil prices to move up. Now, second, we've got China here. Okay, so China is actually a bearish impact on oil right now because China, the whole story about that is that there are lockdowns going on in China. So it's actually causing less demand as these lockdowns are taking place. Fewer people are going out, fewer people are using products, fewer people are producing things, going into work. And as people are locking down once again in China, in many areas of China, we're seeing tens of millions of people locking down due to COVID cases that have been popping up. It's actually a bearish impact on oil, and people have been expecting that might decrease the cost of oil over the next couple of months, depending on the severity of these lockdowns, how long they continue to last, how long and how far China decides to take this, right? So that is actually a bearish impact on oil's price. Now, lastly, Russia, right? This is obviously having the largest impact. It is an upward impact, and we've seen it going on for a while. You can see over the past couple of months, we've been rising, and we've had some pretty serious volatility in the price of oil due to Russia. We actually saw the pump up to almost $130 a barrel. That's what got CEI up to almost $2. And depending on what people decide to do regarding Russia, that could really have a much more serious impact on the price of oil than either what's going on in China or Libya. Russia's really the big name in the oil space right now, depending on which countries decide to sanction Russian oil, which companies decide to self-sanction Russian oil, and what Russia decides to do with their oil. If they decide to stop sending it out, then that could have a serious impact on the oil market as well. So that's the biggest name to watch for with what's going on. And as far as what other people are expecting will happen with the price of oil, we can actually glean what the shorts are doing, right? We can look at what the shorts are doing and at least glean what they might be expecting is going to be going on with the price of oil. So you can see the short interest on CEI stock right here, Camber Energy. And you can see that as the price of oil initially rose up quite a bit, you can see that a bunch of shorts ended up jumping into this stock, right? A bunch of shorts decided to short Camber Energy. They decided to short the stock as the price of oil was initially rising due to the whole Russia and Ukraine situation right around here. And as it peaked, shorts kind of plateaued. They had a couple more runs up, right? There was a little run right here where the stock was moving up. Some more shorts jumped in. And more lately, shorts have actually been jumping out of this stock, right? Actually, before it even moved up. And while it's been moving up, we've actually continued to see shorts exit the stock. So it seems that shorts, at least in the short term, are expecting that the price of oil could continue to rise, that CEI might go on another run. That's at least what the shorts are expecting. And shorts are not always right. Oftentimes, shorts make bad decisions. But it looks like in this case, shorts are expecting that CEI stock might be making a run up, at least as estimated by Ortex. And we are currently seeing CEI break the dollar level, which is fairly significant. That is going to be something you'll want to watch, which side of the dollar mark CEI ends up on. If it does end up below, that would be a bearish sign. But as it's above, and a potential trade that some people might be considering is buying into it. If it drops below a buck, they cut their losses. They take maybe a 3 or 4% loss on it. If it stays above a buck, there is some potential upside, right? We've been moving up for the past couple of days, and there is some room to run on this, especially if the price of oil continues to move up, right? That's going to be, in my opinion, the biggest determining factor what happens with CEI. We're going to want to watch very closely what happens with the price of oil. Any new news that comes out regarding oil prices and what's going to move those markets is probably what's going to be most impactful for CEI stocks. So that's what I've got for you guys today. If you appreciate the video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe down below. And other than that, guys, keep in mind, none of this is financial advice. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.